So in this video we're just going to go through how to set up your service style if you're going to be using a VRS rover setup. So in terminal access, three bars at the top left, if you tap that you can go to your settings. And within here we're going to go into our service styles, and you'll see I've got various different service styles set up here, different functions. If I go into options, I can tap what service styles I want to see, whether it's just total station or GNSS. So you already have some service styles. Now, if it's an existing one you've set up and you just want to make some changes, then you can select that service style and you can select copy and copy from by creating a new name. If you're going to create a new one, like we're going to do here, it's just new. So we'll give it a name. So the first one just I'm going to demonstrate is if we had our SIM card in our controller, so say a TSE5 or a TSE7. Now if you haven't this, videos on the APN, how to set up an APN for a SIM, we need to do this first on your controller before this will work. So for this one, I'm just going to call VRS TSE5, stealth type GNSS. Set my rover options. So there's various different survey types depending on what you're doing. For this one I'm just demonstrating the VRS, so survey type will be RTK for real-time kinematic, and a broadcast format will be VRS CMR. Your antenna type you can set in here depending on what type of antenna you've got. It's usually measured quick noise, and you can set a height if need be, just the default height, 2 meters. You can add tilt settings, E-bubbles, you can tick them on and off. Your GNSS signal tracking, I'm just going to put everything on here. You can put everything on, but if it's not actually enabled on the GPS receiver, once you start it up it will basically tell you what you've got and it will turn it off and update it automatically. Again, you can select the exfil, sometimes you have additional functions for tilt there as well. So accept that, and the next one I'm going to look at is my rover data link. So where is it going to receive the connections from? So most times it will come from an internet connection, and it uses this thing here called a GNSS contact. So the contact is just basically the details of where to receive the internet connection from, and your trip details such as your password, connection, all the connection details required to receive the VRS connections. So you can create, if I tap into the contacts here on the right, you'll see the connections that I previously have. Now what you can do with service styles is you could have a service style for say VRS TSE5 or VRS R12, just depending on where you were putting your SIM card. Or what you could do is you could actually just have one service style for VRS, and then you can create lots of different contacts for how you want the connection to come through. And if you tick this box, prompt for contact, what it will then do is when you go to connect up, it'll ask you what contact you want to use. So it might be that you have 3 different SIM cards that you move between using all the time, so you might want to just ask what one you're using before you connect through. So you can do it that way. You can have one service style and then various contacts that you pick, or you can just have lots of different service styles for whatever one you're going to be using. So for this one I'm just going to untick that. So again, with the GNSS contacts here, you can copy them again, or you can just create a new one. So for this one, this is going to be TSE5 SIM. The SIM card is in the TSE5. Network connection type. So you usually just have 2 options here. It would be controller internet or receiver internet. So where is the internet connection coming from? If the SIM card's in the receiver, then it's receiver internet. If it's in the controller, then it's controller internet. You can also tick into either one of these, and you can hit configuration just to do any configuration settings required for connecting to your receiver or your controller. For this one we're just going to select controller internet. We don't need to configure anything because we've already set up the APN. Then if I go to my connections, just like this, use ntrip, server no. Probably advise you connect it directly to the mount point. Probably if you're using OS 15, then most commonly it will be 15 TVN CMR X. Put in your ntrip name and your user password, IP address. enter that, store it, TSC5 SIM, we're going to accept that, and that's the contact we're going to use. So you can go through some of the other settings here, but usually that's the main ones for getting you started and connected. So just make sure at the end of that you just store it. And then once you're done, you can go and try that service dial and make sure it's working. If, for instance, you were going to use the receiver's internet, create another one here, so VRS R12, Delta type GNSS. Again, the rover options, it's the same idea, RTK, VRS, CMR, you can put an antenna height in, we can set all these as we wish. And the rover link, again it's going to be an internet connection. This time we're going to use a different contact here, so we're going to set up for 12 SIM. So if we're going to be using the internet modem with the SIM card in your receiver, then you would select the receiver internet. Now what you might need to do here is edit that, and then type in the APN settings. So you can get this, if you don't have for a Trimble SIM, it will be internet.m2mportal.de to M, and the password is SIM. Now these are the APN settings for a Trimble SIM. If you have a different type of SIM card, then you'll just need to get these APN settings from your provider. Just enter that and accept it. Accept the receiver internet. So we're contacting them for the SIM card. It's the internet connections come for the receiver. And again, corrections, we can just set them as before. Enter the mount point name if you want to connect to it directly. Username and password, the IP address, www.vrsnow.co.uk, and 2101 for the port. And once we've set all them, we just store that. Accept this as our connection, R12 and the SIM, accept. And just store our service dial. So that's us created two service dials, one for the SIM card in a TSC5 in this instance, and one for the SIM card in the R12.